You'll need a copy of the platform if you're trying to follow along. There are plenty of copies up front if you don't have one. In the energy section, there was kind of a major change here, and we may entertain some changes to this section later on. Under energy, we support energy independence and self-sufficiency, first for Hawaii County and over time statewide, through conservation and development of indigenous, sustainable, reliable, low-cost alternative energy sources. We are committed to finding immediate and long-term ways to reduce the high cost of electricity here on Hawaii Island. Now, we dropped the language which says including energy independence via geothermal as the base load carrier. You'll see there are some people that like that language. There are people over here that don't like that language. So that may be a topic for a revision. We encourage government officials to require utilities to provide for the unlimited use of solar power.
So the motion is to approve the platform as presented with the separate discussion on these matters. Page 2, line 64 on geothermal.
Thank
Please
you very
introduce
much,
yourself.
Mr. Chair. Patty Cook, District 7. Speaking to keeping the line in about geothermal as a baseload carrier, there are only 2 baseload carriers that I think our island wants to see, and we have oil. It's very expensive. It's killing us. The alternative is geothermal. The only other baseload power is nuclear. We don't want that. We need cheaper power. Those are the power sources for baseload that you have to have according to the federal government. We are not trying to tell any district what they have to have in their district, simply that we think it should be in the platform as an alternative, an opportunity for us to get off of oil. Thank you.
Thank you.
Speaking in very strong support, and I want to support the Hawaii Geothermal Energy Working Group that studied the feasibility. Docket number 213-0141 stated that the focus for the island of Hawaii is on energy projects that provide cost reduction benefits to ratepayers and that improve and maximize integration of additional lower cost renewable power. And that in fact is geothermal energy. That's really the only alternative we do really have. I'd like to reiterate and support the remarks of the previous speaker. This is a federal mandate, homeland security. This country only recognizes 3 baseload powers. One is fossil fuel, the other is geothermal, and the third is nuclear. So for us to lower our costs, we need geothermal energy. That is the only way that we can lower our costs, because this would stand as our baseload capacity. Please vote in support. Mahalo.
We do not increase our load of geothermal. We don't know what it's doing to the people of Florida. There are health problems that no one's looked into. This is a worldwide situation, and we have to stop it here. It's a matter of there are other alternative energies that can be used as a base load. Helco put out an RFP and 6 different companies answered the RFP. Not one of those companies could say that geothermal would ever lower their cost. We have the most expensive electricity in the world, and part of that is because of geothermal. There's no lowering of cost by geothermal, and that's a falsehood that has been perpetuated by all these people. Thank you.
I want to make myself clear. The motion is to delete this phrase.
I support the deletion of this phrase. It does not negate geothermal energy. It's just taking out the one clause that says that geothermal should be our base load carrier. I think our legislature this year recognized the growing solar power option for alternate energy, and that does not industrialize country living. When you want to put back in about the environment, and you have the right for the preservation and restoration of our natural environment, then you don't put geothermal plants in those kinds of places.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Please identify yourself.
Dwayne Yoshina, District Precinct 19. I'm in opposition for reasons already stated.
Say again, please.
I'm in opposition,
You oppose the deletion.
right,
Okay,
for reasons already stated.
thank you. Okay. Are there people who have not yet spoken that would like to speak?
I was just speaking to
Please identify yourself.
Margaret Willie, council member.
No,
or
you're a
just-
delegate from District.
7.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is really a point of clarification, and as a member of the platform committee, and that our understanding is that the main motion would be to accept the platform as proposed by the platform committee, which would mean taking out this provision. So if you speak in opposition to that on this point, you're requesting that that line be put back in.
That's correct.
Okay, just to be clear. Thank you.
That's correct. Thank you.
Greg Gauthier, District 7-7. I oppose the deletion. And we talk about cost, and how we're being bamboozled by cost. I'm not bamboozled by cost. The cost of human lives in the Middle East because of this resource that we're extracting from the Middle East while children are being killed by drones because we need to plug in our cell phones and our computers. When the heavens bestow heat from above and heat from below and we can't harness that heat in a safe way, no one's talking about unfettered electricity here. No one's talking about, we're Democrats. We know the powers of corporations and how they can do things in a way that is not conducive to safety. We've got to control that safety. But if this means saving one more of our military men's and women's lives, or one more Afghanistan child's life, you could put geothermal right in my backyard. Put it underneath my house. Go for it. That's the cost.
Because the main motion is to delete it. So if you support the main motion, we're going to delete it. If you oppose the main motion, we'll reinsert it. That's how it works. Okay? So, is there any further discussion? Okay. I'm going to call for a vote on this. All those in favor of accepting the motion, which is to delete this phrase, raise your yes vote card. I'm going to need help counting this. Could I have some help counting this? If Micah and Ken could compare your numbers, you two. Okay, so do you have? Raise your no vote. You. Once you get past 28. So what was the number? The motion fails. The vote was 58 opposed, 28 in support. Okay?